In this video, we're going to do practicals for C++ variables. So in C++, we're going to look at a short, we're going to look at an int and long, we're going to look at a float and a double, we're going to look at a character and a string, we're going to look at the booleans, we're going to look at an array, we're going to look at a class and object, we're also going to look at modifiers for integers. So I've opened code blocks and then I've initialized the project code variables. So we're going to start with a short data type. Okay, so we're going to say short. I'll comment a short there. Now say data type is short. Okay, in the name I'm going to say my short. So I'll give a short the value of 100. And if I want to print out a short, I'll say my short. Okay, so let's test if this is going to work. Compile. Okay, so we have 100. There we go. So that's how you create a short in C++. So from a short, we're going to see how to create an integer. So I'll say the int. I'm going to say int my integer is equal to, let me give it a 2000. Then I'm going to say cout. I'll say my int. Okay, so then I'll say end line. Save. I'll close this one. Then compile again. So there we go. We have an integer showing us 100. So we go to a long. No, a long is slightly greater than an integer in range and also in size. So I'm going to say I have a long. I'll say my long. My long is going to be equal to, let's just say any random number. Okay, so we say cout. So I'll say my long, and then I'll say end line. Save. Let's try to recompile. So we have, okay, that is long, so that is the size of a long. Then from a long, we're now going to look at a float. You know, a float is actually a decimal number, so I'm going to say my float. Okay, the name of the variable is going to be my float. My float. Then this float is going to be equal to 0.456. But this side we need to have 6 to 7 decimal numbers. So okay, do that. We'll leave it at 4. That is still okay. Then we're going to do a cout. Let's say my float. I'm going to say end line. Then we compile. Close the previous program. Then compile. Okay, so we have 0.45. Okay, so float is working. And from here we can also test a string. Now a string is anything or characters in, maybe let's start with a character. Okay, so a character just simply keeps an individual character, maybe a 1 or a letter, or sometimes a code for a character. Okay, could be an ANSI code, it could be a 16-bit Unicode, anything. Okay, so we're going to say character. In this case, we're going to say my character. So let's make our character store. Okay, let's just try A for the first time. Okay, so we say cout, and then what I'm going to print out, my character. I'm going to say end line, close that, and then let's run our program. Okay, it's saying we have an error. So the reason why I have an error is because it's in double quotes. The character is supposed to be in single quotes. So run that, we have our A like that. Okay, so we can also try a separate character. We say U 03 A, it should be A9. Okay, let's try if we can print out this character. We see what we get. Okay, we see a dash, but if it was in the console, it's supposed to show an emoji for that one. So that's how we use a character. So these are some of the variables that you've looked at. So in the next video, we'll carry on to look at some more variables. I don't want this video to be too long.